me tell you about the facts of life. Sing it with me.
Take the good, take the bad, you take them both. There you have the facts of life. The facts of life. Take the good, take the bad.
Welcome back to another episode of Facts of Life. Host Zakia, and these are the facts of my life. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast, share the podcast, and leave a review to let me know what you think about this episode. This podcast is available to be streamed on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Google Play. Sorry, it's Google Podcasts now. And full visuals of this episode will be up on YouTube. So I do have a guest today. And her name is Kim from Brown Girls Meditate.
Hey,
Thank you so much for coming and speaking with my audience and Facts of Life.
No, thank you so much for having me. As soon as you hit me up, I had to go subscribe and listen to the show. I was like, yeah, this is going to be good.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited. So I've been following Brown Girls Meditate on Instagram for I don't know how long. It's been quite some time, but I just think it's a great space for, brown women to understand and have a safe place to go to learn about meditation and self-care and to, get yourself together, because we need to make sure that we are staying as grounded as possible. We've had a crazy year in America.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. So yeah, Brown Girls Meditate is a safe place for women of color to discover and reaffirm ourselves. Am I leaving anything out? How do you want to introduce yourself if I haven't mentioned anything?
Okay, no, you're doing a real good job. So that's what it is. So I'm Kim Fisher, founder and creator of Brown Girls Meditate. Like you said, it's a safe space for women of color to come together, learn more about meditation, manifestation, journaling. Just I feel like some of the spiritual practices that maybe we weren't taught in our younger days. So I created this space as I'm learning and growing on my journey. I thought I'd invite people to come along with me so that we can grow as a collective. So yeah, that's it.
I love that. I love that. And I'm grateful that you created that space because we need it. We need it. And you don't really know people from the internet, but just based off of following you, I could tell that you have good energy and you're genuine. Some people, they prey on people that are not as spiritually equipped as others.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that a lot with these programs and whatever people have going on. So I'm glad that, you're genuine and you're doing it from the heart and people can actually learn from you and not feel like, you're not getting something back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what thank you for that. I really wanted to make a space where people felt comfortable learning, where people feel comfortable asking questions, and no one's going to beat them up or jump on you. This is a space for love, right? Yeah. And I know even along the way, sometimes I'm not even always going to get it right. Right now I'm learning about crystals. I don't know everything, but it's fun to learn it and to ask other people, hey, what are your thoughts and insights? So I'm glad that you feel that, because I've been in some spaces where I'm like, ooh, I'm scared to ask a question. Y'all gonna say I'm not woke enough. So
right. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's on their own individual journeys, and it's not gonna look the same for everybody. So it's you have to give grace. You have to be patient with people, and I can feel that oozing from the internet waves.
Yes.
I feel it, so I'm grateful for you. Seriously.
No, it's so awesome too, because since I've made the platform or tried to kind of curate that as the feel, I think it's also helped me to come out of my shell a little bit more, because I'm like, okay, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to get it right. So we're all learning and growing together, because I know one of the things that kind of made me nervous coming into this space, I was like, I'm a newbie. I'm not Deepak Chopra or anybody like that. I'm from Oklahoma City. I'm just figuring this out too. But like I said, creating that space where we're all learning and growing together has made me come out of my shell and like just kind of step into who I feel I'm called to be. So thank you all for embracing me in that way.
So I know you mentioned that you're learning about crystals. Tell us a little bit more about your crystal education, or things you're learning about crystals.
Okay, so this is so interesting to me. So I always like to start off, and I even mentioned this in my guided meditation journal, that, you know, I grew up Pentecostal holiness, like really, really strict Christian upbringing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I still lean into that as my guiding spiritual principles. However, there's just some things that I'm starting to learn as an adult that I'm like, wait a minute, y'all didn't tell me about this part. So just like recently, I've started just purchasing more as far as like jewelry. I actually got one in the mail from, oh my God, I can't think of the name. It might be Black Mom Com. I'm not sure. We'll correct it later. But I just ordered a meditation kit, and it came with this beautiful amethyst stone that I'm just like, I've been feeling really drawn to lately. Mm-hmm. And like this weekend, I went to this crystal shop that I had no idea was up the street from my house. Yay. Mm-hmm. And I got an amethyst. Lost it already. And I'm like, oh man, I just got this stone. Today, another one in the mail. I'm like, all right, God, you got me, because I didn't know what she was going to pack. She was just packing it. But it's been really interesting to learn about the energy that these crystals hold. And I like to use them in my practice when I'm manifesting. I like to just sometimes, if I know that certain ones kind of lean into to opening different experiences or correlate with certain chakras. And so just kind of studying that more and learning, I'm an Aquarius, learning which ones kind of work well with my sign. Yeah. It's just been really, really powerful. So interesting. And all that to say, with this pull I've been feeling towards amethyst lately, I found out that it is the gemstone for Aquarius, that it kind of speaks to some of the goals that I'm looking for as far as manifesting some things with this community. I'm like, oh my God, this, no wonder I've been drawn to this, because it's what I need in this moment. Yeah. So I think that's really, really dope. Do you use crystals at all?
I do. I am not the best with the crystals. Like when I first started like my spiritual journey, I bought some crystals, and it's been a while since I bought new ones, but I keep them in my room. And at first I was using them like during meditation and stuff, but I haven't really like got back into like the whole crystal thing. I kind of use it as, I guess, protection, in like knowing like, okay, these are here for these reasons, and I can always, you know, either cleanse them or go back to them, you know, if I'm trying to like work on specific things in my life, if that makes sense. But I haven't bought any new. It's been some years since I bought some new ones. So
girl, get out there and get some stuff.
Yeah, I know. And you know what's funny? I went to Dallas last weekend. And
that's where I'm at.
You're in Dallas, right?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas.
Yeah. So, and I was like, I went to just rest. You know what I mean? Like, I just needed a change of scenery. I was like, I got to get up out of Houston, because, you know, it's just, I've been working and doing all this extra shit, and I'm just like, I just need a moment to myself. So, and I was saying like, I should go to a crystal shop, but I'm like, I don't really know a lot of people in Dallas, so I didn't know like who to ask that's into that type of stuff. But now I know, you know, next time I go to Dallas, you gonna be my go-to.
Yeah, hit me up. Be like, girl, you want to meditate? And where's the crystal?
You gotta get some crystals the next time I go.
Happy hour, because I'm down for it.
Okay, yeah, we could do that too.
It's about duality. I like to balance.
Yeah, of course. You need that in your life. You need the duality. So one thing I like to do on Facts of Life on the podcast is to do the Living My Best Life. So this is the moment where, you know, we just talk about what's going on in our lives, whether it's the week, the month, the year. We're on the 4th month of 2021. So I know, and whatever you feel comfortable sharing too as well. So how are you living your best life so far?
Oh my gosh. This is perfect timing. So this weekend, I just did a retreat with my best friends since junior high. We have all, three of us live in Dallas. One actually lives in Houston, and haven't talked since probably, I don't even want to say how long, but over 10 years, right?
Oh wow.
Right. And so one of my friends, she reached out from Houston and she was like, "Hey, I started doing tarot. I would like to read your cards." It was so random to me that I was like, "Are you a bot? Is this like real?"
Yeah.
Or whatever. But we started talking and reconnected. She pulled my cards and they were so on point. And so we're like, we all need to hang out. We're all moving into this spiritual kind of lane where I'm doing the meditation. She's doing the cards. My other friend is now a yoga instructor. And we're like, it's so interesting that we all grew up together, went our separate ways, and now we've all like come back.
Yeah, brought you back together. Your spiritual journeys brought you back together. Yeah, I love that.
It's so interesting. So this weekend we had a retreat where we just hung out, caught up, talked about real issues going on in our lives, and just were super vulnerable, journaled. It was beautiful. Got matching tattoos. Don't look, it's blurry, but it's gonna come together.
Yeah, I love that.
And it was just one of such a great experience because not only were we able to talk about like, you know, spiritual things and emotional things and conspiracy theories, like all this fun stuff, but then also like I got advice about my business and what do you all see coming from Brown Girls Meditate? What are some things you need and pour into them as well? So that to me, being able to be around those women and just soak that up, that's my best life. Like I love being around a great community of positive women who support you and encourage you. So that was awesome.
That's important for young women, you know, our age, especially like in this spiritual space, to have like people you can lean on and you can communicate with and that support you, and you guys are doing similar things or you have similar interests. So it's like you don't feel, because sometimes you could feel really alone on this spiritual journey. So I'm glad that you have, you know, a space and a community of women that are supporting you through your journey.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. And then afterwards we were like, all right, so let's not make it like another 10 years, right? Let's keep this energy going. So I really loved that we decided to set our intentions for this week. So we, in the group text, hey, these are the things I'm committing to this week. And for me personally, I realized during that trip that I need to commit more to self-care and just pampering myself. I'm like, I need more body scrubs. I need some more oils, like all these things to take care of me because I'm a mother, I'm a wife. I don't always spend that time doing that. So
right.
I got that reminder. So I'm like, I'm committing to self-care. I'm committing to being a mentor and not a rescuer. That's one thing, because I have a tendency to get over involved in other people's issues and want to like fix it. No, coach and then sit on the sidelines.
Yes,
so, exactly. Being able to have that space to make those commitments and now share them with a group of women who can hold me accountable.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's beautiful. I love that. You're gonna have a great month then.
I feel it. I'm feeling some positivity on the horizon. I'm feeling some good stuff. What about you? What about you? Do you have set any intentions for this week?
I haven't really set any intentions. Before we hopped on, I did journal. This month is like my month of like, I'm doing 30 days of gratitude. So I guess that's kind of my intention, like to be consistent with, because I have a gratitude journal. So just making sure that I'm writing something down daily. And what else do I want to do this month? I kind of go by months. I've been doing like a month thing. But I'm also participating in Ramadan. So this will be my first year doing that. And later on, I'm going to write, you know, some petitions because I have some candles that I want to burn. So I'll be writing some petitions and things later. But I guess my intentions is to just make sure I show up for my meetings this week on time. And that I'm prepared because I have some meetings lined up, and just making sure that I'm prepared. I'm well rested. That too, like that has been really a struggle for me, is like getting in bed on time and making sure that I'm not up all hours of the night. I guess that's mine. I'm setting my intentions now to make sure I get in bed before 11 p.m.
Very good. Rest is a form of self-care. Naps are important. Going to bed on time is important.
I had a chance to like actually catch up on some rest this weekend, so like I feel good, like I feel refreshed and like so yeah, I'm excited about this week, this month.
That's awesome. I love your gratitude thing, and I think that's a big thing in itself, because I always feel like gratitude just kind of reminds us to be more present, like right here, right now. This is what I'm grateful for. I'm breathing.
Exactly. I was listening. I don't know if it was a podcast or maybe an audio book, but one of the things I remember from whatever it was I listened to is like, what is missing in this moment right now? You know, they asked that in the podcast or the audiobook. I can't remember. But like, you have to ask yourself, what is missing in this moment right now? And if it's nothing, then you shouldn't have much to complain about. You know, like things happen, life happens. So it's like, it's inevitable that, you know, things don't always go our way. But, you know, you have a roof over your head, you have food, you have water, you know, clothing. Like, that's important. So when I look around, I'm like, nothing is missing. And so
I love that.
I shouldn't, and it takes me, you know, and I'm doing this gratitude thing because like I feel like I've kind of been struggling. I'm going through like a transition period where I'm trying to break into a new field. I should say I'm breaking into a new field.
Yes, we're not trying. We've already done it.
Right. So I'm breaking into a new field, and I've been applying to, you know, that specific field for jobs, and like nothing has really came up yet. So I'm just like, you know, I've been going through the motions of feeling like, well, damn, why is this not happening?
Where's that?
Right. Yeah. So like, I'm like, last month I did 30-day prompted journaling and 30-day guided meditations. And so like, I'm just trying to make sure I stay in the groove of, you know, being abundant and, you know, just having gratitude as much as possible and being present, like you said. So
yeah, no, for sure, because what that'll do, what you're doing the right thing, it'll help keep you energetically aligned with what you're trying to manifest. Right. And like, I think sometimes that's left out of the conversation when people are talking about manifesting things. It's about being on that same energetic level and just having that faith and expectancy. I don't need to know how. I don't need to know when. I just know it is. I know it. So in the meantime, while it is, I have joy because I'm going to do my yoga. I'm going to do my whatever because I know that's already worked out for me. I already said it. I got it. So you got it, girl. Congratulations on that job. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, so let's get into getting to know Brown Girls, Kim Moore and Brown Girls Meditate More. So let's start off with an icebreaker. What's the biggest lesson you've learned in the past year, and how have you applied your lesson to the present day right now?
Oh, the biggest lesson. I feel like there have been hella lessons over this last year. Oh my God, what's the biggest? I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is it's okay to change. It's okay to pivot and to really trust and lean into your inner guide. I am a well-known people pleaser. And for a long time, I didn't really pour into this because I was caring about what other people thought. And in addition to this Brown Girls Meditate, I have another business where I do digital marketing, Kimmy Inc., and I handle digital
marketing. Said that I'm breaking into digital marketing. Yeah.
Well, girl, we can talk after this. So that's it too. So I handle like strategies and stuff for like small businesses. Which I love the helping part, right? I love to help people, and I'm a big picture person, so I can see the vision. However, I'm really passionate about the brown girls, right? So that's where my heart is leaning. However, there were so many, because of the way I was raised and everything else, that I felt like, oh, well, I don't know, what are people going to think? Here goes Kim trying something new again. Here goes Kim, now she's into some woo-woo. But I had to realize I'm in this skin, I'm in this vehicle, and I'm gonna drive it where I want to. So that's been the really, really big thing. And even coming out of this weekend, one of the cards my friend drew for me was the inner light, and was someone, she was like, you already know what to do, you know the next step, quit second guessing it. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, for real. Because like you could get, I feel like you can almost like get sick, you know, doing too much for others and not taking that time to pour into yourself. And with marketing, I know like it's not, you know, like an easy job to do. Like you have to spend time researching, writing, you know, meetings.
Yeah.
Design. It's a lot of different components to marketing, especially like when you're helping other people, you know. So
and they made this investment in you, and they want to see a certain results. It's like,
right. Yeah, exactly. So it's like you have to deliver, and sometimes even with, you know, me doing, I've been doing freelance marketing, and just even working with small businesses, like, child, y'all be asking for a lot sometimes.
Asking for a lot and wanting to pay a little.
That part, exactly. That exact part. Trust me. I know it. But I'm glad that, you know, you're making the changes to take care of yourself seriously.
Yeah, no, for real. Because there's just been a joy that I can't even really explain when I'm spending time building out my content for brown girls, or what am I going to talk about next, or creating a meditation or anything like that. I'm like, this is the feeling that I was looking for when I created Kimmy Inc. I was looking for freedom, right? And I'm finding it now that I'm really leaning into this spiritual path. I'm like, okay, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm gonna go down this way and see how.
Yes, I love that. Freedom is the goal, child. The freedom is.
That's it. That's what that's what I want, and I guess I'm coming to a realization that there's just so many ways to get there, and it doesn't have to be this traditional way that was once ingrained in me, that this is the only way. And that's another thing that I want to do with Brown Girls Meditate. I want people to see that there's so many other ways to reach that freedom and to find what free is for you. You know what I mean? To come up with that and to live in that honestly and powerfully. Like, that's what I want.
So what made you start Brown Girls Meditate?
So my meditation journey started a few years back. In 2013 or 2014, I always forget, probably on purpose, I got into one of the worst car accidents of my entire life. I knew I was about to die. I was in a rollover accident coming from Dallas, going about 75 miles per hour on the interstate. And my car just flipped, right? And I just knew I was going over this bridge because I was driving. I was coming up from the bridge. I was like, all right, this is it. This is how it's going down, right? And so the car rolled and rolled and rolled. And finally, the only way, it was just God. and all my good angels was with me that rolled the car instead of down the hill back onto the interstate. And it makes zero sense how it happened. And then once the car stopped, I was like, well, am I dead? What's broken? And I had just a tiny paper cut. Just a cut. Like, it was miraculous. Like, I still went to the hospital because I was like, surely something's like shaking up on the inside. Because and so after that, though, I just divorced. And so now I totaled my car. I was in graduate school, but hated the program. I was just going to school because I'm a good student and I'm a people pleaser. And so I was like, right? This is what you do next. But I just felt like my life was spiraling out of control. And there was a time where I wanted to end it. I was like, I don't even know if I want to be here anymore. I feel worthless. I've been left in my marriage. I don't know what I'm going to do with my career. And your girl's broke. I'm broke. And I remember really vividly one night, I could not sleep. And I got on YouTube and I was just looking. I was like, I need to hear some type of encouragement or something. What hypnosis? What's going to help? And I found a guided meditation and I was out like a light, right? Next morning, I said, well, that felt good. Let me try it in the day. And the next thing I know, I started just finding all these guided meditations on YouTube. I started asking my friends. I was like, y'all ever try this? Y'all ever meditate? And they were like, oh, here goes Kim coming up with something. But I wasn't consistent with it, right? I just kind of, did it off and on when I was feeling really stressed or something. Fast forward to me moving here to Dallas and then getting married again and just being down here. I'm like, oh, this is kind of stressful over again. Let me pull this off the shelf and get back into it. And it really wasn't until COVID and the quarantine that I got serious about sharing my experience with meditation. I had created Brown Girls Meditate maybe like 2018, but I didn't really start posting on it until last year and really building the community because I was home and I wanted to show people, hey, I'm sure we're all stressed out right now. Here are some things that we can do collectively. Because last year it was the quarantine and then we had the protests. We had a lot going on back to back. And I said, we need a safe place to come and just love on each other and affirm each other. And so.
Yeah, I love that. I'm glad to hear that you made it out of that accident safely and that, meditating helped you to get through that difficult time for real.
Yeah, it definitely, it helped me to rediscover who the fuck I am. Like, it really did. Like, I'm like, wow, I am way more powerful than I thought. I'm way more talented than I thought. And it was only because I was able to sit in stillness and just to reconnect with my inner being. Like, and there's just no other way to do it. Like, you have to, like, you can call it whatever you want. But until people sit and get still and get quiet and rid themselves of distractions, you're going to be like this. Like, so it definitely was life-saving, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. So in your own words, what does meditation mean to you?
Meditation is stillness and reconnecting with your higher self. I don't know what the technical definition, because I really try to make sure that I make meditation specifically for us, for people like us. And so I'm like, I try to stay away from super technical, whatever. But for me, it is being still and reconnecting with your higher self. And that's really learning to lean into your intuition, because we already have a guide inside of us who knows everything, right? And so it's removing distractions and being able to.
Yeah. So did you find it like hard when I should say challenging when you first started meditating? Like, how did you get in the groove of like this being a part of like your daily practice?
Listen, it's still hard some days. Like, there's still some mornings that, and I consider myself pretty good at this, but there's still some mornings where I'm like, ooh, but I need to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I have to tell myself that meditation doesn't have to be an hour long. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes. You can carve out 3 minutes before you even get out of bed to take some deep breaths into your belly and to say, today, I'm grateful for today, and these are my intentions. And you sit with that for a little bit in silence, and then you move on. Every meditation session, it can be completely different. There's moving meditations. There's silent. There's musical ones. There's different ones that are available. And I felt like I was able to create a routine by posting. You all, the community helps keep me accountable, right? So I'm like, I'm going to teach something if I'm not practicing it. So that's one way. But then also journaling. And that's why I created the 30-day guided meditation journal, because it's important for me to write every day that, okay, this is when I did it. This is the time I'm going to do it. And this is what I received afterwards. It's that I have to track it like that. I set alarms on my phone. 6 a.m. meditation. 9:30 meditation. And so I know these are times where my phone's on do not disturb. My kids, everybody know, leave me alone. Mommy's going to stay here at the window for a while. Or you can come do it with me.
Or you can join, but you're not interrupting this time.
But that's definitely something I encourage people who are new to it. I'm like, schedule it in like you schedule your workout and everything else that's important to you, because your mental health and wellness, and it deserves a place on your schedule. So and don't think it has to be long. Start with 3-5 minutes and then build from there.
Yeah, I love that. I was going to ask you that, like, what type of advice do you give to someone that's new to, their self-care journey or spirituality journey and meditating? what other suggestions do you have for somebody, you know, that's new to meditating? I know when people ask me about meditating, I always tell them to not have any expectations.
Very good.
Because when I first started getting into meditating, I was like, oh my God, like I can't, I'm going to have to, you know, silence all of my thoughts, you know, and I can't think anything, and I have to ascend to this higher place. And, you know, like I was just making up all these things that I had to do, all these rules, you know. So what type of suggestions or advice do you have for somebody that's new to meditating and, you know, getting into self-care and their spirituality?
The first piece of advice I have is to make something that is special and unique to you and what you're looking to get out of it. For instance, if it's I was dealing with like depression, so like I had to that's what my thing was about, kind of cultivating a more of a loving relationship with myself. Maybe it's anxiety, which all of it, to be honest, is really about cultivating a more loving relationship, but making a practice that is unique to you. So, for instance, if you're not in the sage and Palo Santo, just because your favorite is using it, don't do it. You're right.
You don't have to, right?
Don't burn no incense, baby. Don't do that. But set up an environment that allows you to relax. So I know me. I try to get up before anybody in this house is up. So about 6 o'clock, I know I've got a good window where I can go to the living room, I can open the windows, the light's starting to come in, I can light me a candle, and I can sit on the floor by one of my favorite plants and just dig in. Yeah. And that's my time. And it's something I look forward to because it's quiet. So make something you look forward to. Maybe you've got your favorite song playing lightly in the background and you got your incense. Maybe you smoke a little something and that's how you want to start your day. Whatever it is. Make your practice fit you, and don't try to make it be just like anyone else that you see out there. It was hard for me to relate sometimes to some of the gurus that I saw, because I was like, oh, well, that's not me, or that's not my experience. And so that's where I say journaling also comes in handy. Like when you're writing about it, you kind of start to see a pattern of things that you like or you enjoy, and you can repeat and go back to that. But create a routine and make it something you love.
Yeah, me and my guest co-host, we kind of talked about that on the last episode about like morning and night routines, and like one of the things I was telling her was I was like, I think I'm turning into my grandmother, because you know, growing up, when I was stay at my grandmother's house, she would get up super early in the morning and like do her routine to get started on her day. And I used to be so annoyed because I'm like, why the hell you up so early? Go to bed.
Around.
Right, exactly. But now I'm just like, I get, you know, why she was doing that. And I'm like, if I don't have a routine especially in the morning, if I don't have a routine, I don't know who you're going to get today, okay? I have no idea who you're going to get today.
It's so real. Like for me, like, because listen, with Kimmy Inc., I have a strict schedule. I start at 10. I'm not answering the email before 10 o'clock because I need adequate time to run through my routine. I want to work out because I know if I don't do it first thing in the morning, this shit ain't happening. I need to meditate. I need to read. I need to do my devotion, because on the days that I don't do that, because there are some days where I still don't get it all done, I move different. I'm more tired. My temper's a little shorter. You know what I'm saying? So like, you have to create that space for you. And I feel it, because I used to be the same. I'm like, why are they getting up so early? But I need more of my day. I got boxes to do. I need more.
Yeah, you get more done if you get up early too. I've noticed that, and it's like, it doesn't mean that, you know, you have to do every single thing like early in the morning, but it just makes, you know, it just helps for your day to go smoother. So if you do have a long day, or if you may have a lot of tasks, it'll help you get through that a little better, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Right, because you know you've started the day by taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
And like I know throughout the day, most of us are serving someone else through the day, either if it's an employer or even for those of us who are working for ourselves, we still serving other clients or something, right?
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
we have to make sure that we have put time in the day to serve ourselves and to serve spirit.
Right.
Our fuel.
Yeah, exactly. So, question about when people are starting with meditating, right? I follow a couple of different people on Twitter, and this guy, I don't even know what his title is called. I don't know if he's a spiritual advisor or what, but he says some real shit and some things I don't always agree with. Like, one of the things he said was, you shouldn't do guided meditations. And I'm like, I will do meditations on my own, but I need the assistance because like I'm not 100% there yet. So how do you feel about guided meditations? Like, do you think that they're helpful? People shouldn't use them?
Listen, I told you that's how I found meditation, because had someone told me to just do shit on my own, I would have been just lost. Like, okay, what do I do next? Did I do it right? You know what I mean? So I needed kind of that blueprint. And I'll be honest, I still use guided meditation some days because there's some days where I am spent. Right? Both of my parents have passed away, and so I'm still like dealing with issues with grief. Right? And there's some days where I'm like, I need a good guided meditation on grief, so to help get me, because I don't have it. And so I think, listen, there's something about community that is so healing. It is so healing. And I feel as if, especially if you're a newbie and if you're dealing with some other issues on top of that, golly, a guided meditation is going to be perfect to not only give you the steps of what to do, but then also just let you know you're not alone.
Right.
Like, there's some of those meditations that, talk about the heaviness of carrying anxiety or carrying these loads. And when you hear that, wow, I'm not the only one dealing with this. So I don't have to be ashamed. Like, being a part of those type of communities and those sessions, like, remove that shame barrier. I said do it. Plus, I'm going to be selling some, so absolutely.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely. You should absolutely do that because, like you said, people need it, and if you're new to it, it's super helpful. Like, I still think of myself as a beginner. Like, I started my spiritual journey a few years ago, and like, there's still things that I'm learning and discovering. Like, even with the crystals, like, I bought them. There's still things I need to educate myself on. But recently, I just started getting into tarot card readings, getting readings done, and like also working with these 7-day candles as well. So like, it's not gonna like look the same for everybody, but I agree. Like, the guided meditations are super helpful, especially like if you're having issues with something really specific. And there's so many resources out here where, you can use to help you, like, get through this, moment. Because it's like, I feel like you got to really get to, I don't even know what place you got to get to in your life where you really ascended on some shit where it's like, you ain't got to think about it. I don't know what that look like yet.
I'm working on becoming a Jedi. I ain't there yet, though. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, because like I was reading this book called Light on Yoga, and like the way they talk about like the yogi journey, I'm like, I am nowhere near. They be like, yeah, like you're not even gonna be thinking. I'm like, not thinking. I'm like, I'm nowhere near that. So yes, I encourage you to use as many guided meditations as you need.
Sure. And the guided meditations, but also like there's things that I've learned from them that now I use in my own practice. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a great breathing exercise. I need to use that and share that with somebody. So you know what jewels might be in there. So yeah, don't listen to him.
No, I didn't listen to him, but I just thought it was interesting. He said, because I'm just like.
Now, I will say this. You do have to be careful, though. You can't listen to everybodything.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You have to protect your spirit. Like, you can't do everybody's stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to do your due diligence with with vetting people, especially like, and this is, you know, and like I said earlier, I feel like, you know, you're genuine, you have genuine love and care for people, but some people on the internet just ain't right, you know? So, you know,
they can just get some advertising dollars, and that's what they're trying to do. I mean, that comes in all forms, where what's people's genuine intent. And so, yeah, just be careful. Just guard yourself.
Right. And I know that some of your posts, you do like affirmations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you fit affirmations into your journey as well? Like, how does that look for you?
Affirmations, if you could see this behind me, this is one of my vision boards actually at the bottom, and then I have another whiteboard over here of stuff. Mm-hmm. Affirmations are super important. By trade, my degree is in English, so I'm a writer, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's why I encourage journaling so much, because I know the power that words have. Mm-hmm. And I know the conversations that I've had inside where I'm like, oh, you're just so dumb, or oh, you keep making these mistakes. And then who kept making those mistakes, and who was doing dumb shit was me. Yeah. So it wasn't until I took that conversation, right, with those positive words and started reaffirming myself that I started to become this woman that I've always wanted to be. And I even do this with my children. We call them I ams. I'm like, all right, have you done your I ams today? Because I'm like, the world is going to do its damnedest to tell you who you are, especially as them being two young Black boys. And I just with us as Black women that they're always telling us that we're angry and we have attitudes and that we're this and we're that. And it's time for us to take the power back and tell them who the fuck we are. And I am powerful, and I am a queen, and I am beautiful, and I am talented. You know what I'm saying? And you just say that until you can really mean it. I was in this retreat in January, and there was an older woman. She was almost 50 years old, older Black woman. And she was just talking about her battle with self-esteem to this day and how she just has never thought she was beautiful. And that just broke my heart, because she was, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, really? Really? And I'm just like, man. And we had a great session, a great meditation session. And she's like, I've never done this before. And it was great. And I was just like, man, that's what this is for. I want people to know about these tools so they can just reshape this story. You know what I'm saying? Right. We've been telling ourselves a story for a very long time that's bullshit. Mm-hmm. And so it's time to get that pin and write that, you know? Yeah,
I agree. Because, like, I'm definitely, like, one of those people that have accepted so many things in the past because, like, I didn't think I deserved more, you know? And I'm finally getting into a season of my life where it's like, okay, no, you're a big girl. Well, I'm about to be 30 years old, but it's like, there's no more of, like, leaning on, like, you know, things that happened in the past or people telling you couldn't do this or X, Y, and Z. Like, no, we're standing up and who we are. Because, like, in the past, I felt like I had to dim my light for a lot of people. Yeah. And, like, I'm always questioning myself. So, lately I've been doing more affirmations, you know, to get myself, like, back in the groove of, like, no, you that bitch, okay? And we gonna get what we deserve. If it's gonna take us a few years, it's gonna take us a few years. But we gonna get everything that we are owed, and that is on period. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, and that's another thing I used to do. Yeah. We talk about sounding like grandmas. Let me tell you something else. And one thing I did in the beginning of my journey is I recorded them on my voice recorder, and I would play it before I would go to sleep because I just needed to hear something and to remind me. And I did my future story about, like, my life and what it's going to be like, and I'm just so proud of you. And listen, change. It's just a beautiful thing. So no, words have power. We got to use them the right way.
Yo, definitely. They are definitely the power that we thought we didn't have. So I appreciate, you know, all of your content on your page. Tell us a little about, you mentioned you have some guided meditations that you're going to be putting out. When you expect that? Where should people be looking for it?
Okay, well, listen, I actually got my little team working on it right now. My team being my 13 and my 11-year-old son are editing my videos as we speak. But they invoice me accordingly at the end of the
I hear Get your paper, young brothers.
Edit them videos because y'all are good at this. So
Yeah.
I've actually recently started a YouTube channel called Brown Girls Meditate, and I have one guided affirmation video on there right now, just talking about beating imposter syndrome, which is another thing, speaking against the story that we've told ourselves that, oh, we're not good enough to show up in this space and all that. And it's something I personally struggled with for quite some time, and still struggle with even in this health and wellness space, because I'm like, are you sure you're together to be telling everybody how to get it together?
Right.
But right now, you can check out that YouTube channel, and I'll be posting videos at least once a week. Different meditation, affirmation, things that you can even play in the background while you're just doing your day, just so you are keeping the vibe high in your space. So that's going to be an area where they're available. I'm currently in the process of redesigning my website, browngirlsmeditate.com. So just wait for that. Once that's live again, there'll be plenty of links for you all to access that good content. But I'm always going to come with something for you all. And I have a group on Facebook it's a private group for Brown Girls Meditate. You do have to put your name and your email because I want to be able to contact you. But once that, I accept you into the group, and I post guided meditations in there as well.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna have to join that group. Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to it. So before you go, what are some of your favorite affirmations or affirmations that you've been incorporating in your routine that you want to
I actually took this from one of my clients, which I'm so glad I've attracted her in my life. But she's like, I'm a powerful manifester. I get whatever I want. Everything comes to me with ease. Because who's not working hard anymore is me. I'm not working hard. Everything comes to me with ease. And I'm a powerful manifester. I get whatever I want. And so that's why I'm very careful about the words I use, because I do. Before my car accident, where that was the really bad one, the day before, I was walking into a Walmart parking lot, and my friend said, when are you getting a new car? I said, I just paid this off. I'm riding it till the wheels fall off. The very next day, my left wheel completely disengages from my car. The very next day. I know my words are powerful. So I am a powerful manifester. And let me see if I have any others that I love. Creativity flows to me with ease. I say that one a lot because sometimes as a creative, I have so many ideas and I'm like, I don't know what to do next. But creativity flows to me with ease, and every door is going to open as soon as it's supposed to.
Yes. Say that again one more time.
Creativity flows to me with ease, and everything is going to open when it's supposed to. Every door is going to open for me when it's supposed to. That's another one I always say too. Everything's working out for me. Everything.
Yes, everything is, because it is. Even when you don't see it.
Especially when I don't see it, because most of the time I'm looking in the wrong direction. So everything's always working out for me.
Yes, I love that. Okay. So I want to thank you again for coming on the show. I really appreciate you. I think that the audience is going to love this because everybody is, working on being their higher in their best self. And, I want this podcast to be a tool and a resource for us to start really breaking down these generational curses. So meditation is a great tool, and just a reminder that it doesn't have to look a certain way, just do what you feel like is best. Let people know where they can find you online.
I am at Brown Girls Meditate on all social media. So just make sure you follow, engage, send me messages, send me questions that you may have about the practice, because I'd love to help you out, and I'd love to help you create a routine for yourself or your group. And like you just said, it doesn't have to look a certain way. It just has to make you feel good and lead you to connecting with your higher self. So that's that on that. Thank you so much for having me. I love what you're doing. I love you, and anything I can do to help support you, you let me know. Okay?
I will definitely let you know. And I will link your social media and the YouTube page so people, they can go visit and listen to your meditations and your affirmations and whatever else that you post on there.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And make sure that you guys, if you like the episode, please subscribe. Leave a review. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. All right, peace.